Where were we? Oh, right. So, painted it black. Next up, this little section I'm going to clean up. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the fog lights. I don't think I'm going to keep them. Someone was just asking me about that, and I never really liked them. So, it's one less thing to worry about. As far as this mud guard, it's not attached to anything. And also, I did this just recently, actually. Unfortunately, that's the new mud guard I just installed. But I was in a hurry and I didn't attach it on that corner because I was working on this bumper, and then I had to put my regular bumper on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to match the line in the bottom of the bumper here, and when I run the regular bumper I just won't have it. Won't be that big a deal because it's still covering most of the engine bay, and it's not like this is doing a lot right now anyway. Another question I had is, am I going to do anything about this gap that goes from the skid plate here to the front? The answer is yes, but probably not right at this moment. So I've gone ahead and drilled a hole, and as you can see, I'm a little bit off. There was a mark on the inside that apparently was the outside edge, but since I'm cutting this large section out, that'll be okay. It's just not where I thought it was. Not a problem. So here's my actual fair lead, and right on top of that, I'm going to have another one sitting on the outside. So that is my plan, and knowing that, I'm going to mark it so I can cut the hole out. So this hole does line up with the winch inside. You can actually see inside the winch there, maybe. Yep. But the hole on your right, unfortunately, is not going to be 100% covered by the new faceplate. So there you go, YouTube. I just showed you my shame. Now it'll be 90% covered by the hole, and unless you're looking for it, I doubt anyone will ever see it. But this faceplate is just to have a place for the new fairlead to go. Another thing someone's asking is, am I going to do anything about this stuff? This is my washer bottle, and I like having washers. I think this is the sensor, this is the rear, and that's the front. I know the rear doesn't last as long as the front, so that makes sense seeing how it's lower. This piece right here I think is actually a guard for that, if I had to guess, because it doesn't seem structural, but it seems fairly stout actually. I mean, maybe not as stout as that bumper. Heyo! But I think for right now I'm just going to paint this area black and worry about it later. Ideally this wouldn't be here, this washer bottle and everything, but I don't want to move it just yet. Honestly, if you follow the line of the body of the car from here to there, it's still pretty tucked up. And if I get rid of this, I feel like I'm just going to high center it. So I feel like having this and the front plate beam that I haven't made yet will give me more capabilities, but I'll still have to be smart about it. Moving on. So you can see here, I've gone ahead and cut the splash guard, this triangle shape right there. That's going to give me a pretty killer approach angle, or corner approach angle if I'm honest. Way more than the capabilities of the car even. So I'm not too worried about that. I mean, it looks great. I'm not going to lose a lot of aerodynamics or anything with that down there, but man, that's a good look. Okay, YouTube, here we go. All buttoned up. Just in time for the sun to go down. So let's fast forward to in the morning. So this is going to conclude this video series. Stay tuned. I've got a bunch of them backlogged. I had to do this one in order for the thumbnails to make sense. The other thing is I have a couple Q&As. I figured more people would jump at the chance to ask me stupid questions, but I'll answer the ones that was asked. First up, we've got ALN SM Overland. Jordan, if you want to know more about my cat, we'll cut to it right now. This is my cat Blanca. She had a brother named Blank. Blank ran off, but Blanca stayed. We got her when she was a kitten. She looks like a miniature Maine Coon. She actually looks a lot like a Maine Coon, but she's too tiny to be one. She's not wanting to cooperate right now. She's very fluffy and very lovey. She weighs about 6 pounds. She's 8 or 9 years old. She hangs out with us. Hangs out in the garage. She'll go inside. She'll go outside. She kind of does what she wants. You know how cats are. We've got a harness on her. It's kind of hard to spot sometimes. There it is. Yeah. Because she kept slipping her collar, and you have to keep her tags on her if she's an outside cat. And if she's tagless, they'll pick her up. So she just wears a collar, or she just wears a harness full time. Be pretty for the camera. She's very lovey. Also, she sneezes like a chew toy. I'll put a link in the corner if you want to see that. And then Donald at Soft Roading the West asked me, have I always lived here? And I've always lived on the East Coast. I haven't always lived here. So hopefully that's a good enough answer. A couple questions about the bumper itself. Am I going to add a front skid to connect the skid plate under the engine to the skid plate to the bumper? Yes. I wanted to do it as a separate piece because I want this bumper to be interchangeable with the factory bumper, so I can go back to it and say winter when I'm not going to be using it. And then also, am I going to add recovery points? Unfortunately, I'm not comfortable doing that. I'll have to get a professional doing that because the recovery points that I've seen are really thick, and my welder cannot weld that. And even if it could, I'm not sure that welding to the welds that I made would be the best idea. So I'd want something that actually attaches to the winch plate. The factory recovery point is blocked by the winch plate and has been for a while, but that point is not very strong. In fact, I wouldn't recommend serious recovery from that point. That's a bad spot. I've seen people bend that little eye bolt to all kinds of crazy, so don't use that. With the winch, I have a built-in recovery point that spreads it evenly across both beams, so that's my plan if I ever need to do it, or if I need to make it across a, say, pipe that's too big. I think that's it. This has been a really fun project. I'm really happy with it. Total cost, I'm in at around $100 by the time I count the wire weld, the paint, the bumper cover, the metal, plus my time. And it does not look as good as some $2,000 bumpers I've seen that I've wanted, but I'm in at $100 and some sweat equity. So I'll take it. And I won't always be using it, so expect this to be flipping back and forth. I would like to get an extra grill so that I can swap this very quickly. I hope you enjoyed my little mini series here. So thanks for watching.